Yes. Hello, good afternoon, learners. Today we want to begin with our lesson of pollution. What learn about pollution today? Our lesson is pollution. Pollution is the releasing of harmful substances in the atmosphere or in our environment. Harmful substances which are released in the environment destroy our environment, and we term them as pollutants. These harmful substances are called pollutants. We have several types of pollutants. Some of them may not rot. We call them the non-biodegradable materials. Materials like plastics, polythene papers, broken glasses, all those ones don't rot. So when we throw them in the environment, they affect our environment. We have other pollutants that are liquid, like the oil from these oil vehicles. Those oils are bad because when you pour them in the soil, they kill the living organism in the soil. We shall look at different types of pollution. We have got what we call soil, right? Types of pollution. Types of pollution. We have soil or land pollution. We have air pollution. We have water pollution. And then we also have what you call sound pollution. Today we want to basically look at soil pollution, then we shall look at the other types later. We talk about soil pollution, we look at spreading or releasing poisonous substances or toxic substances in the soil. Those substances still, as we talked about in the beginning, they are still called pollutants. So in soil we call them soil pollutants. Those substances that make soil lose its fertility, they still remain the same. We're going to look at how some of them affect the soil. When you put them in the soil, they affect the soil. Remember, we talked about the component of soil that must be there so that soil is complete. Let's take a look at this. If we get polythene paper, we say this is an example of non-biodegradable material, so material which do not rot. When you put them in soil, how do they affect the soil? We want to look at it this afternoon. That here with me I have the soil sample, and I have this. This is the polythene paper. We want to see how does it affect the soil if we dump it in the soil. So if I should put this in this polythene paper in our soil, and maybe we bury it down, it is buried in the soil. Now, so down we have soil, then in between the soil we have the polythene paper. Now on top there is soil. So we assume that this has been dumped into the soil. I want to grow our crops here. One, when it rains in this water which will pour here will not penetrate down into the soil because this is waterproof. It won't allow soil to go down. That's how it affects the soil. It won't also allow air to go down reach the soil. Yet in the soil down here, we have some component of soil that need the air, like the living organism. We have component of soil that need the water, like the living organism. So if we pour this water in this soil, we shall see that this water will just remain on top. The water is there in the soil, we are pouring, but it's just remaining, it's not going down because this polythene paper does not allow water to go down. That's how it affects the soil in the ground. So this water remains on top. So if you come and plant your crops here, even the roots will get difficult to penetrate through this polythene paper. So the water has remained on top and the water has not gone down. That's how we say this polythene paper cuts off the supply of rainwater in the soil and also supply of air to the soil. So this is how it looks. When you carry this one up, you find that the water has not gone down, water has remained up. So it has cut off water supply to the soil. Hence, this soil has lost its fertility because now the soil needs water as a component of soil, and the soil also needs air as a component of soil, which those components help other components in the soil. Like I said, the living organism, they need the air. So if this polythene paper blocks the supply of air to the soil, then this soil will not be good. So we say this soil has lost its fertility. So that leads to soil exhaustion. The soil cannot now support plant growth because it lacks some of the components, or this polythene paper is affecting the component in the soil. So when they die, the soil will not be as fertile as it was. So such materials are not good in the soil. We are supposed to look for ways how we can discard them, how we can throw them away. It's not good to just leave them in the compound. So what we do, such material, the non-biodegradable material, are best controlled by using the 5R. With the 5R. The 5R stands for reuse, reduce, reject, or refuse, and return. These are 5. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, reduce, reject, return, and then we have the next R. Because there are 5: reducing, rejecting, and returning. Then you can the 5th one, this is reusing the polythene paper. This is reducing it. Rejecting the same as refuse. Then you can now the last one is recycle. Recycle. So reusing them means when I get this polythene paper, I don't discard them. When I get them, I bought something from the shop and I put in this. Then the next time I'm going to buy, I can take the same. I don't get a new one from there. I'm reusing it. Is that okay? You reuse it. You don't get more. Because every time you get, you're going to be discarding them in the soil, and they do the same thing we have seen. So you have to reuse, don't take more. Reducing, make sure you don't use so much of them. For example, you are going to buy something in the market or in the supermarket and you buy maybe 3 items. Each item they are put in, say, different polythene paper. No, why don't you put them in one and get a few? You are reducing the use of the polythene paper. Then reject or refuse, meaning you can go with your container. You don't accept the bearer of the polythene paper. Say, I am going to use my container. Those days you use our basket. You go to the basket and you put your food there you bought, you carry it. So that you don't accept the use of the polythene paper. There you are trying to help the environment by not degrading them. Then we have return. You take back this polythene paper. After taking home your it, then you take it back where you bought it. So please, your polythene paper is here. You have taken my food. Because it helps you carry your food home. Therefore, take it back. So you have returned where you bought it from, where you bought the food from. Then lastly, recycle. You know, very many times these days, people get these polythene papers, they get the used plastic bottles, take them back to the factory where they go and recycle. They go and heat them hot and they melt, and then they make other plastic material out of them. That helps to reduce these polythene papers, those non-biodegradable material in the environment. Hence, we shall be helping our soil not to lose their fertility. So the soil will be improved, the fertility will be high, and we shall grow our crops, the crops will yield well. So, dear learners, these are one of the ways we should use. Let us not so much use these polythene papers. Let us try as much as possible to reduce the use of this polythene paper. Let us try as much as possible to recycle. We may not know how to recycle, but you collect them. Then there are some people who will move around. They come, they want this bottle. You give them. You may give them freely, or they may buy from you, and that you can get some little money. So whenever you get these empty bottles, the plastic, collect them, put them in one place. When these people come, you just give them. They take so that they go and recycle. Thereby you will be reducing, you will be trying to eliminate most of it non-biodegradable material from the soil, then you help the soil to gain its fertility. So if we do that, we shall see that our crops are going to yield well, we shall get our good yields, we shall improve on our food storage, because these days you see most of the soils have lost their soil fertility because of this non-biodegradable material. Things like oil, we talked about them, they're also bad, because when you pour them in the soil, they also do the same. They cut off oxygen supply to the soil. Yet this oxygen is used, or air, used by this living thing in the soil. So whenever you get such things, you should know, how do we take them? How do we discard them? How do we take them away from our soil? So we have seen how the best way we can remove most of this non-biodegradable material by using the 5R. And the 5R are reuse, reduce, reject or refuse, return, and then recycle. So at least one of those can help us to make sure that we reduce, we make sure we help our soil. If we don't help our soil, that's when we shall be suffering from this shortage of food. Because if the soil is not producing enough food, then we shall not get. The price of food will increase because there's high demand and there's less supply of food. So dear listeners, dear learners, let us try to do it at our level. When we learn that it is good to remove this non-biodegradable material from the soil, then we shall be helping our soil at a tender age. But let us not go and also do the same and start throwing them. Even at school, when you see the polythene papers, pick them and put them in one place, so that we inform the teachers that, please, there are some polythene papers here, and they told us that they are very bad in the soil. So where can we take them? The teachers will help you collect them, and then call those people, take them for recycling, then they can go and recycle, so that we reduce them. They should not be so much accumulated in the environment. If we do that, we shall help our environment. So learners, today we want to just end there for this. When we come next time, we shall go and look at other types of pollution as we add on, as we build up. So I've told you how we can end up either improving the soil or destroying the soil fertility. And these are some of activities that we are doing as human beings. You know, when God made the earth, was very pure and good. But now, because we have started these human being activities, some of them are dangerous to the soil. And now we are crying that we don't have enough food, we don't have rain. So some of the activities we do are affecting the environment. So let us try to see or get solutions how we can help our environment, so that we can also enjoy staying in a clean environment, getting enough food, and we also help ourselves from some diseases that may come due to shortage of food. Thank you so much. We'll meet again.